What a guy. How do you do it? Oh, hi. Sorry, didn't see you there. Welcome to week 6 start sits on Player Profiler. I am Chuck Bass. We're going to be taking through all the matchups today. We've got blood alcohol content in the system. We've got DJ Moore. We've got NFL hats. We've got Roger Goodell in the background. We've got Groot up here. Top of the morning to all of my diehards out there. It's sicko week again, per usual. Happy to have you guys. Sorry for the 3-minute delay. I had a little microphone issue. I wasn't going to let you guys down. You weren't getting the muffled sound. This isn't some startup. This isn't some nonsense chicanery. This is Player Profiler. We do things right. We're at the best in the business, and I'll be bringing you guys the best today. So if you got your coffee, if you got your mimosa, oh, Jesus, that's up. Let's get right into it. Donald, I'm not going to leave you hanging. I saw you pre-show. I was thinking about this one. I was thinking about it big. David Njoku or Mason Taylor. This is a fun one, right? We've got basically what they're calling the new David Njoku and Mason Taylor. His targets have increased every week. His snap share, his yards per route run, everything's trending up. Tough matchup, and he is playing in England. But guess what? We just saw the Browns tight ends have absolutely no trouble in good old England with Dylan Gabriel. So I do like Taylor in this one. It's a tough matchup for Dylan Gabriel as well in regards to David Njoku. So I'm probably taking the secondary pass catcher here for Justin Fields. Where we go here. Yeah, they're taking on the Steelers. That's going to be tough sledding all the way across the board. So let's go with Mason Taylor there and let's get some targets. Top of the morning, promo code Jeff is rad. We've got promo codes bright and early. I'll shout mine out as well. Promo code fast draft faster. Promo code Chuck right there. Make sure you guys are hopping in on all the fun. We'll get to some fast dress content here in just a little bit. Is it crazy to consider Mac Jones over Justin Fields this week? Guys, let's think about where we are in life. You know, you have these roadmaps for what you think is going to happen. You put the work in, you do the research, and then Mac Jones has 400 yards or he's averaging 350 yards in 3 starts as the backup with no Ricky Pearsall, no George Kittle, no Brandon Ayuk, hardly any Jawan Jennings. That's life right now. I don't think this is crazy, and I do like the matchup. Tampa Bay has been getting sliced and diced, but the thing with Fields is we saw last week, it doesn't matter if he has 5 points going into the fourth quarter. The garbage time is going to come. So I probably would still lean Fields here in this one, particularly for the rushing, wonky London game shit going on. These guys are just going to rely on what they know. And the only thing he knows how to do is run the ball. So I'd still go Fields, but you're not crazy. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Justin wants to know full PPR, Trevion or T. Oh, now we're getting into gross talk. You guys want to do the gross talk this morning. All right, let's get into what actually helps people, and that is the Player Profiler projected point total. So right now we have Trevion Henderson as RB29 at 11.4 full PPR points, and we've got T. Higgins, second round / third round pick, depending on your league. T. Higgins, we've got him at wide receiver 34, going up against the Packers with Joe Flacco, 11 full PPR points. So you are going to get a Flacco bomb here or there. Is T going to come down with it? I don't know. He did last week, which we did shout out. Let's go us. Pre-show. But the thing is, I think that Joe Flacco is the worst quarterback in the league. I think he's worse than Jake Browning. Now, does that end up benefiting Jamar Chase? Probably, but I just feel pretty bad about Higgins here. So I guess it just depends on what you need. If you need ceiling, I'm going Higgins. If you need floor, I'm going Trevion. I think with the Antonio Gibson injury, you're going to see, you have to, right? I swear on everything that is holy on earth, if we do not get more Trevion Henderson usage, I can't be held responsible for what's going to happen in the Northeast. All right, P Money wants to know Fields or Penix. Thanks, bro. I'm going Fields here. Haven't loved what I've seen from Penix. He had one good game against the Commanders, and I will give him his flowers. It was a good game. But otherwise, I think he has been a bottom 5, bottom 6 quarterback. He's young. I get that. I'm not judging his career. I just think that it's been a little lackluster from what we have coming in. Player Profiler rankings have him sitting at, they're pretty bullish on him this week. They've got him at QB 16 with a projected point total of 17.5. Buffalo defense, low-key trash. Are we talking about them not being very good? They've been getting sliced and diced. Spencer Rattler put them in the blender, and obviously we saw what Drake May was able to do. So is there a little bit of that 2020? Is the 2024 class just their Achilles heel? I just don't know. But just to shout out you guys again, Justin Fields is still projected at quarterback 11. So he's got 20 projected PPR points. So you need that floor and that ceiling this week. Shout out my 0-5 teams out there. Carlos. Oh, God. Here we go. Sorry, guys. Like I said, the blood alcohol content is real. Bourbon was flowing last night. Martinis were flowing. I had a drink called a Burning Couch in Tokyo, which is fantastic. And I can obviously still feel that today. So Carlos wants to know, thanks for what you do. Thank you guys. This chat is everything to me. I love getting up early. I love letting the caffeine and the whiskey and the water and the AG1 swirl around as I try to spit these out to you guys. And I promise you, once I get my bearings straight, I'll start giving them some more clips. Thanks for what you do. Would you start any Chargers over RB over Warren or Henderson? I probably wouldn't. I'm very bearish on these Chargers running backs in particular. I don't think either one of them are good. And I mean, if you're praying for like a Justin Herbert throws a deep ball and they call pass interference in the end zone so you can get that Hassan Haskins goal line score, sure, if you need that floor. Otherwise, I think it's going to be a rotation. You just aren't going to like what you see here. I think that they even have plans. They reached out to teams this week to inquire about maybe pulling in somebody else. So don't love that. The offensive line is so bad that it's going to be hard for anybody who's not a first-round talent to thrive. I don't mind stashing them. I definitely wouldn't play him over any of these guys, though, especially with how Warren's looked, with what Henderson's projected role could end up being. Just to give you the Warren shout out here. Warren is, where's my eyes? God. Warren is projected. Oh, man, I can't type. Warren is projected, dead air. He's projected 16 full PPR points. He's our RB, and he is our RB 16 on the week there as well. Look for the dump offs. Look for Rodgers to get the ball to him. And you got to be encouraged. If Kenneth Gainwell can step in and score 3 touchdowns, you have to feel pretty good about anybody with a medium level of talent producing in this Arthur Smith offense. Arthur Smith, shout out the GOAT. Let's go. All right. Nick wants to know, full PPR, pick one: Jalen Warren, Mason Taylor, or RJ Harvey. What happened, Nick? Where did it all go wrong? Pick one here. If we're doing full PPR, I still like Jalen Warren here just for the rushing and receiving upside. I like Mason Taylor as well, but like wonky potential in England, just in comparison to Warren. I still like Mason overall. And RJ Harvey last week was just not encouraging. J.K. Dobbins, I got egg on my face on this one. I thought last year's J.K. Dobbins production was solely a volume play. I must have been wrong. Maybe he's just come back from injury. Dude looks good. He looks like a top 15 running back in the league right now, and he's running behind a great offensive line. So why can't RJ Harvey do the same thing? Greg McDonald wants to know, Ken Walker, that's a sipper, or Hassan Haskins. I'm going Ken here. I don't know what's going on with Seattle. Ever since Chop, Chaz, whatever the occupation was, they've just not been able to get their shit straight. Just Zach Charbonnet's all of his metrics, all of his efficiency numbers are bottom of the barrel. He just keeps getting these goal line touches. While Ken Walker he is like he's the running back grade darling this year. I mean, he is just absolutely booking it. So hopefully he gets a little love here. He's got RB20, 14.8 projected full PPR. And just to give you guys the Chargers running backs as well, we've got Kamani Vidal as RB33 with 9.2 projected PPR points. And Hassan Haskins is right behind him at RB35. So we're even a little bit lower on Haskins, even though he is getting the projected points. Let me talk to you guys real quick. Projections can me this year because they are screwing players over. I don't know who's doing the projections point-wise for ESPN, Sleeper, CBS, all these platforms. Yahoo's actually been pretty good this year. They are screwing people over with some of these projections. There's only like 5 running back rooms this week in particular, that are projected to have 2 players score over 10 half PPR points, not even standard. And they have the Chargers is one of them, even though that hasn't happened in legitimately 365 days. This week 6 last week was the last week that we had 2 Chargers running backs score. And they don't have the line that they had last year, all that jazz. So sorry, I just got to get off my soapbox a little bit. All right. Carlos also wants to know, flex Jennings or tight end Hunter Henry. I got Tyler Warren at tight end and London and Ted at wide receiver. You're looking pretty good there. I'm riding the Hunter Henry train. I've loved the connection. It's really Hunter Henry and Stephon Diggs, which is what you want to see out of a great young offense. They have Hunter Henry at 11.3 full PPR points this week. Now, I do like Juwan Jennings. He did have a really nice game with Mac Jones week 2, but coming in with an injury, they can rely on Bourne. Mac Jones showed a really good ability last week, in particular against the Rams, to spread the ball around. I know Bourne had a big game, but he was hitting guys all over the field. So I don't feel the need for them to kind of pound Jennings. Jennings was a tough one to rank this week. Where are you here? But we do have him at wide receiver 24, 13.1. Some injuries to the Tampa Bay secondary as well. So there's a chance for those guys to eat. If you're looking, I will say, if you're looking for ceiling, Jennings. If you're looking for floor, Hunter Henry. That feels pretty good. And let's look at the overall implied point total for that game is 47.5, which I think is going to be the second highest of the week as well, right? Yeah, we've got Bills, Falcons, 49. Oh, Detroit. Okay, so top five. Top five. Wow, we've got some big games this week. We've got 4 games over 49.5. Let's go. Fantasy points week. Guys, this is the week where it all changes. If you're drowning out there, if you're dying, you need a lifeline, you need a sober driver, whatever you need, this might be the week that you get it. So let's rock and roll. No broke boys. We're going all stealing all the time. Dustin wants to know, gross start QB of the week. Jake Browning survived last week. Mac Jones or Dylan Gabriel?
Grabs me by the wings. Shut the fuck up!
That's how I feel when I see these ones, guys. Gotta like what you see out of Mac Jones every single week. I mean, 49ers quarterback, set and forget unless you have a top 10 guy. There's no doubt about that. Dylan Gabriel looked a little spicy. He's a little short, though. He's a little short. So I'm going to go with Mac Jones here pretty handedly. We got a pretty big difference here as well. We've got 17.2 projected points for Mac Jones. And we've got 11 for Dylan Gabriel. Tough matchup for Dylan Gabriel. If you're playing Superflex leagues and stuff, I don't feel pessimistic about him. I don't think you're going to get a lot, but there are worse quarterbacks out there. So you did survive Jake Browning. Let's keep it rocking and rolling. Why do I feel like Vidal will be fool's gold, Harvey or Vidal? Because we have this machination in our mind that this Chargers offense has been crushing it when it's really been grinded to a halt these last couple weeks. And it's really because of the offensive line and a couple injuries to the wide receiver room. I know Quentin Johnston's banged up this week, but they're just not playing with a full deck. And, Vidal is a pass catching back, maybe where we have dreams of Austin Eckler and what was. And I get that. And he did have a killer 40-yard touchdown catch last year, which is really that game where multiple Chargers running backs had double-digit points. It was because J.K. Dobbins had a nice game with a touchdown, and then Herbert just hit Vidal, boom, right down the rail, crushed him with a long game. So is that in the cards? It is. If you have better options, I would probably consider them. I'm probably still taking Harvey here, even though it is a goofy one. Jets have been getting body bagged when it comes to the production, and we have Harvey sitting at. We're pretty bearish on Harvey. We've got Harvey at 7.4, but just out of these two, I kind of see him a little bit similarly. So give me Harvey there. Greg wants to know Chase Brown or Hassan Haskins in full PPR.
Why are you fucking with me? Why are you fucking with me? Why are you fucking with me? Huh?
Greg, did you imagine that when you selected Chase Brown with probably like the 17th overall pick that you'd be trying to figure out if you were going to start him over a guy you just picked up off the waiver wire week 6? It's kind of shit we're dealing with, guys. That's why I'm here. That's why I couldn't sleep. Wife was still in the covers per usual, but for the most part, I just wanted to get up and I wanted to get to this table and I wanted to perform. I'm probably going with Chase Brown here just in case there's dump-off potential. We were seeing even guys like Quinshon Judkins get dump-offs with Flacco, so they bring him in here. He'll get the ball out quickly. This dude does not want to get hit. He's got Micah Parsons breathing down his throat. We've got Chase Brown at RB27 on the week, 11.9 projected full PPR points, so feel pretty decent. Think that could be the play. And also, this is like a last grasp play, right? If you can't outscore Hassan Haskins this week, you got to put this guy out to sea with no supplies. Old school. Cameron, I got you here, buddy. We got a super subscriber. If you guys are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. We would love that. We're putting in a lot of hard work this year to give you guys content you need. If you are already subscribed, I need you to go create a burner account, and then I need you to subscribe again. Watch all the content, take notes, give us an MLA format, updated version of it. Tell us what you think. AJ Barner or Tucker Kraft, non-PPR. Don't let the bye week fool you guys. Tucker Kraft is a top 3 tight end in fantasy. We've got him as tight end 3 on the week, 12.7 projected points. Beautiful matchup against the Bengals. You guys always know, like, when people like, how many rushing yards could you get against an NFL defense? And, some guys will say 0. Most guys will say negative. Couple high T guys will say like, oh, I could get 5 yards. I could catch a pass against the Cincinnati Bengals defense, guys. I played football in middle school, and then I played tennis. I've got all the necessary prerequisites you need. Plus I have a podcast. So everybody knows if you have a podcast, you're an expert. Epic Fail wants to know Superflex Dylan or Jacoby Brissett. I actually like Jacoby Brissett this week. Now I think he had 7 starts last year, maybe 6, and he did not pass for over 200 yards in all but one of them. But I do like the matchup here, and I just think it's going to be a funky game. They need a breath of fresh life in there in Arizona, and Jacoby Brissett's just a stable veteran that can come in and do it. Colts defense has been pretty damn good, but they've been pretty good against quarterbacks who have been turning the ball over, and that's not really Brissett's game. 46.5 over implied point total here. Now, defensively against the pass, yeah, the Colts have been top 5. They're 5th overall in EPA, but this might be Jacoby Brissett's like last season starting NFL game. So does he have a little juice left? I don't know. I feel pretty decent against him. And really, it is just matchup dependent, right? We've got him at quarterback 28, where Dylan Gabriel's quarterback 29. So what are you more afraid of? Are you more afraid of the Steelers defense, which has been not good? It's not been great. Actually, if you're not playing Carson Wentz, it's been pretty bad. And even Carson Wentz diced him up a little bit and versus the Colts. So pick your poison there. I'm probably going with Jacoby Brissett. Got the weapons. Got the blocking up front, hopefully. Got Imari DeMarcado, who could take it to the house at any given time and drop it right at the front door. You never know. Chase Brown or Zach Charbonnet. That's the funky one, too. Give me the volume here with Chase Brown. Charbonnet, 10.1 projected point total, RB 31 on the week. And he's really just Zach Charbonnet might be our Gillette Labs player.
It's from Gillette Labs.
Gillette Labs?
I don't really have a correlation there. I just needed a sec to get a coffee break. All right. What else we got here? Who's next? Who's next? Daniel wants to know, good morning, Trevor or Mac, 3 quarterback league. Shout out 3 quarterback leagues. I love it. You got Purdy and Lamar out. So you're grubbing for grapes right here. I feel you. You got to like the matchup for Trevor a little bit. The way he's playing. If he was able to piece up the Chiefs defense like that, I feel like he can do it as well. I felt a little bit better about the Seahawks going into last week than I do right now. Baker with just Ibuka, super banged up Godwin, so banged up that he's not even playing this week. And then like Sterling Shepard and Baker just dominated him. So I think Trevor Lawrence is playing well. He's got a little goofball in him. Obviously, he had that touchdown run last week where he looked like he was peeking on Molly and then puts the forearm down and runs it in. But I just like the way that offense is humming. So give me, but then you're talking about Mac Jones. Shit. Sorry. I was having a little boner off for the Jaguars. I was jagging off, for the Jags. I'm probably actually going to go with Mac Jones there. Same thing, just a better matchup. So let's go with Mac and let's let him piece it up. Nick wants to know, rest of the team is stacked, missing Pearsall and Rasheed for another week. I know, man. I feel you. It's a tough sled, but the Redcoats are coming. Let's see here. Fields or Daniel Jones in a super flex spot. Ooh, man. Every time I know it's week 6 of these start sits, guys, and I'm still not used to seeing Mac Jones as a top 10 potential guy. He is our quarterback 13 on the week, though. 18.9 projected points. He's got a nice matchup. The Cardinals defense is frisky, but smart teams can take it to him. So I'll take Daniel Jones there. I'll take me a little bit of rushing. And it's really just a matchup thing, right? You got Fields going to London playing the Broncos. I still think both of these are good plays, so it is a little bit of a coin flip here. And you're talking about 0.2 for rush and 0.5 for first down. That actually might tilt it. That's why you got to read, guys. Yeah, give me that because Fields will rush much, much more. That's the deciding factor. Good morning, Mac or Lawrence. I've got we just did that, I believe, right? Did I fuck that up? Or we covered that. Vince wants to know. See, I'm taking you guys one at a time. I'm not skipping ahead. I'm not trying to find the great comments. I just want to give everybody their due. Everybody deserves a little bit of love. Okay, that's spilling all over me, and it's going to ruin this lovely American Eagle sweatshirt that my wife got me. Oh, for the season. I can't be having that. No way. You guys shout out wives and girlfriends out there, the wags. I can't be getting in trouble with them on a football Sunday. All right. Monongai, Kendre Miller, I would imagine is what you mean there, or Williamson from Detroit start. What? Vince, come on, you got to help me out here a little bit. Like I said, I'm not working with a full deck this morning, so I need clear, crisp names. But I do appreciate what you guys are doing that I love is shout out you guys who are capitalizing the first letter. I do have a soft spot for that. Monongai, Kendre Miller. I'm probably going with Kendre there. Alvin Kamara popped up on the injury report this week with ankle on Wednesday's practice. He is going to play, it looks like, but Kendre Miller was already kind of coming for the belt even before then. So, I think it was the first time in consecutive games that a running back had gotten the usage that Kendre Miller had in like 6 or 7 years when Kamara was healthy. That game will probably be a grinder, only 40.5 projected total points between both teams, but you are able to have the Patriots on the ground. So give me Kendre Miller there, especially in comparison to the guys you're talking about in half PPR. Jimmy wants to know Ladd McConkey or Jamar Chase in redraft. Oh, man. Is this where we're at in life, guys?
I heard that. I wish I didn't hear that, but I just heard that.
Let's go with Jamar. I've been shitting on Joe Flacco all week, so I'm due for like a second quarter, like 50-yard touchdown pass where Jamar catches it at like the 20, makes a guy miss, runs it in. I know Ladd scored last week and QJ's banged up, but the way that Ladd has been operating, I don't feel any better about him than I do about Jamar. Now they are going into Green Bay. Sure, don't get me wrong, but nobody can really stop Jamar Chase. It's just except for the quarterback. So let's get the first overall pick in the lineup here. I mean, we still have him pretty high. He is wide receiver 11 on the week, 16.6 projected full PPR points, and we got Ladd. We got Ladd not too far behind him. He's wide receiver 16. Wow, pretty bullish on the matchup there. They do have the Dolphins, but give me Jamar Chase there. Give me the ceiling, no broke boys, all the fun stuff. DK or Diggs, full PPR. Now we're talking. We're getting into more sicko territory here. DK having a pretty good year. He does get the Browns. 14.8 projected point total there. Let's get the hairline off the screen. And then Diggs coming alive. The first wide receiver since 2019 on the Patriots to have back-to-back 100 yards games. We got these guys ranked neck and neck. We've got Diggs at wide receiver 15 on the week. DK at wide receiver 18. Give me Diggs. Like the target volume, like the usage, like where he's being used all over the field. Got the connection. They're finally getting rid of this Get Kayshon Boutte off of my screen. Get Pop Douglas off of my screen. I don't want 1 second of any of this. Yeah, so let's go with Diggs there, although you can't go wrong. You guys got some good teams. You guys are making me feel pretty good about the start sits. You're making it easy on me. You're allowing the brain cells that are left in my brain right now to function in a way that's beneficial for yourselves, for me, for everybody in my life, personally, professionally, everything. Devin Fulton wants to know Harrison Jr. or Brain Thomas. Ooh, Shikame Brain Thomas. I do like Brian Thomas this week. I think it is a fun matchup. I think they're going to have a good time. We have got him at wide receiver 21 on the week against Seattle. That matchup, I think, will be fireworks as well. Hopefully it's not a slugfest. That would be annoying as hell. But I'm actually relatively bullish on Marvin Harrison Jr. this week, especially with Kyler Murray out, who I'm just could not be more done with. Now, Player Prof, this is where I got to go against the grain here. Player Profiler has Marvin Harrison as the wide receiver 39 on the week. He is getting dragged analytically because of the switch to Brissett. But this is a veteran quarterback who's going to come in. He's not going to play any games. He's not going to run around in circles and then hit himself in the head and then give himself a concussion and hurt his ankle in the same play. So give me personally Marvin Harrison Jr. there, but the big brains at Player Profiler would say Brian Thomas Jr. Funky Monkey wants to know, yo, brother, you helped me out last week with Mason. I got you guys. You guys always know I got you covered. How about Bourne or AO or Flournoy would need your help? This is one where it gets tricky. The Juwan Jennings thing is really throwing me off because otherwise I would have had Bourne as an easy top 24 wide receiver. But how much love is Juwan Jennings going to get this week? But then you're like, okay, well, who are you comparing this to in your start sits, right? Manor, I think I'm okay there. They had a nice little fun run last week in Tennessee, but I'm just still pretty far out until Brian Callahan is gone. So then it brings us to Flournoy, a guy who I did not even know existed until a couple of weeks ago. Now he is way down there. He's wide receiver 55 on the week, and that is going to be tough. But you're talking about like moon balls, right? Like who's going to get? You got Tolbert in there. You got Turbin in there. I believe Turbin's back this week, right? So you got Dak potentially dealing, who's Dak. I mean, Dak's on fire, so I'm not worried about him. And then you get the Panthers secondary, who carved him up. Tua just took it to him. So I feel like in this one in particular, I'm trying to think right now, and it's not going very well. Give me Bourne. Yeah, give me Bourne. Give me who I think is probably going to be the secondary pass catcher on this team from a wide receiver standpoint, as opposed to Flournoy, who could be behind Pickens. He could be behind Ferguson. Sauce Gardner really took it to George Pickens last week, and I think that was a big part of why he had a little bit more of a quiet game. I know he had the 50-yard bomb at the end, but that was just like that was at the club pouring your bottles out on the people that are like not in VIP. That was not like that was just George Pickens in a nutshell. So I'd be very surprised if Florida is able to have a similar performance. Dak just went to the guy who was open this week. I think Pickens will be more open. Ferguson will be more open, all that stuff. So that's how I feel there. Go Bourne, Kendrick Bourne. That's a long way to say Kendrick Bourne. I'll try not to take so fucking long on these questions, guys. Oh, sorry. I promised my mom, my sweet mom, if you're out there, I love you. Love you, Mom B. I would try to cuss a little bit less on this broadcast. Love you guys. How's the back end? Didn't get used a lot yesterday, my guy. Oh, you're talking about tennis. Shite. Backhand was the weakest part of my game for sure. I tried to switch to a one-handed backhand not long ago, and it was one of the worst mistakes of my life. AC Hellman wants to know Caleb Williams or Daniel Jones. Caleb is kind of coming on strong lately, isn't he? We've got Caleb ranked as a QB5 on the week against the Commanders. Does he get a little bit of redemption? Obviously, he should have won last year, taking on Jaden Daniels. But that Commanders defense is humming and hoeing. Is that the right? Humming and hoeing? Feels right. Obviously, he's playing well coming off a bye. So you're taking Ben Johnson off a bye here. Let's get some Colston Loveland involved. Let's get some Luther Burden involved. Let's get DJ Moore out of my life, potentially forever. This whole DJ Moore thing, just a quick side. It was never, ever talked about by anybody who watches football that DJ Moore should be getting used more like Deebo Samuel. And then all of a sudden, 4 pass catchers come onto his team that are all better than him. And it's like, we got to get this guy. We got to get him in motion. We got to get him handoffs. Like, no, you're done. All right. That's like the equivalent of like 50-year-old getting her 8th facelift. All right. Pardusky wants to know, do you have a 2-minute clip queued up for a pre-break? I do not have a 2-minute clip queued up for a pre-break, but I do have a pretty decent one for our next start sit here. So pick 2 PPR, Deebo, Sutton, Breece Hall, Carter, or Shakir.
Put your goddamn cock away. I don't want to see this anymore. I don't want to see it either.
I get it. You're smart. Okay. Epic. You know how to hit draft. You know how to hit the waiver wire. You landed all your picks. Now you're here throwing 5 guys on my face while I've got teams where I'm legitimately starting Geno Smith and Chris Moore, Diami Brown. You guys make me sick sometimes. Why do I do this? Deebo is the hot hand here. Obviously, I'm taking Deebo. Oh, I was going to say obviously. Yeah, I'm taking Deebo. I'm really skeptical of wide receiver play abroad. And I say that about Sutton in particular. So give me Breece Hall, who's looking fantastic, and give me Deebo there. I feel pretty decent about that, especially in PPR. Yeah. This one is gross. Marvin, it's sick. Here come the sickos. Heartburn wants to know, this one is gross. Marvin Mims, Sterling Shepard, or Don Tavian Wicks.
Gabriel, hit me up with a shrimp. Are you out of your fucking mind, April?
It's so funny the predicaments we find ourselves in, you know. How many times have you checked this lineup? I would love to know throughout the week and just been like, what the fuck am I doing here? Sorry. But this one in particular, I guess if you're just praying for like who's going to get a little bit of action here, I do like Sterling Shepard. The Sterling Shepard Oklahoma connection with Baker Mayfield out. They're using him in the red zone, which is insane. 10 projected full PPR points. I thought we would get a little bit more Wicks usage with the Jaden Reed injury, but it just hasn't been there. They've been hyper-targeting Dobbs, Tucker Kraft, all that stuff. And coming out of the bye, I expect them to use Matthew Golden a little bit more. So out of these guys, give me Sterling Shepard. I think that's going to be a fun one. Mims is a fun ceiling play if you need the points. If you're like, okay, I want to start this guy because I need 15 points, I would go with Mims, but otherwise feel pretty decent about Sterling Shepard there. We've got Marvin Mims, wide receiver 46 on the week, just to give you a little bit of reference. So love you guys. Okay, I'm going to hit you guys with a quick little ad for Fast Draft here, and I will be right back.
Pour one out for an incredible best ball season. It was a breakout 2025 for Fast Draft, but now the NFL action has started. That means it's DFS season. That's right. You might think, oh, wow, DFS, I can't win DFS. Oh, but you can on Fast Draft. You just pick any 6 guys, and you put them in a handful of booster spots. There's no salary rubric you have to follow. You're not going up against thousands of killer bots in these tournaments. Oh, no. These are regular people grabbing their 6 favorite plays of the week, and that's all you have to do. And we post the ownership so that you can choose how much chalk you want. There is no drafting. It's called the Quick 6 Super Slam. The Quick 6 Super Slam is the signature DFS contest at Fast Draft. It is changing DFS. We are making DFS great again. So go to fastdraft.app and use your host promo code for a $50 deposit match. And let's go start drafting faster.
Fast Draft Super Quick Six Super Slam is the only DFS tournament that I have ever drafted Luke McCaffrey in. So that's kind of that. Those are the kind of people you guys are up against. All right, we're back, baby. We're mugged up. I couldn't drink out of the Asian Cup anymore. It was blown over me. So I got my Auburn Tigers mug. Auburn Tigers famous for getting spit roasted by the referees last night in a game where they should have pounded Georgia. And instead they set fire to my vulva. So let's get back to the action here. We'll get you guys some start sits. Who was next? Who's next? Michael wants to know, Knicks or Caleb? That's very mediocre coffee. Knicks or Caleb need defense. Not much out there. Bucks, Saints, thinking Dallas because of the matchup. And this one in particular, I'm taking Caleb. That feels like a smash pick. But I just haven't loved what I've seen out of Bo Nix. Maybe this was just like last year with the first couple weeks or whatever. But Caleb's playing hot, right? The hot hand here. And defensively, defensively could be tricky. I haven't looked too much at the defenses this week because I don't have a lot of leagues where I play defense. And that's not intentional. It's just the way things have shaken out for me. If you're looking for streamers, though, I mean, Vegas has got the Titans. That's a decent one. I don't love it for the Bucks just because Mac Jones is playing very conservative football. These guys in particular, I mean, the Saints get the Patriots. Maybe you get a little Brandon Staley action. They're hosting them too. Maybe the Patriots Super Bowl was beating the Bills last week and they come down. And the Saints pass rush has been pretty good. So, and of course, if you want to go Dallas, that's an option as well. But I think I like the Saints out of those. Porter Ruckin wants to know Hunter, Carter, or Golden in full PPR.
It's not supposed to hurt. I thought.
You guys are going to be hitting the bottle early today. I can feel it. And I have no problem with that. This is kind of when it's October. It's the best month of the year. Let things rip. I'm not judging you guys. What I can say is that I don't love Hunter at all. I don't love the matchup for him in particular, and I just don't love the usage. If you're talking about Michael Carter, that's probably the play here. I like Golden. I like him going up against the Cincinnati Bengals are the team you want to play guys against. So if you're talking straight up, when is the Matthew Golden breakout going to come? Who's the get right game for wide receivers? Who gets them on track? It is the Cincinnati Bengals. So I like the ceiling of Golden there. But if you're like, I need my 11 points, I need them. I can't live without them. Go with Michael Carter. He is our RB22 on the week, 13.1 or 13.3 projected full PPR points. So that's probably the smash play there. But go with the guy. I'm a no broke boys guy. I want sicko plays. Matthew Golden feels like the sicko to me. Sweet cream or cookie dough coffee creamer while I set these lineups. Honestly, I would rather just stick my unit in a door and slam it shut before I put cream like that, sweet creamer in any of my coffee. Come on, you guys are better than that. Ruckus wants to know, what's up, dog? Got to get those electrolytes. I do have to pound myself up. It does feel good. And I'm trying to get you guys there. Better staff and redraft. Corum or Spears. Corum. I think Corum's a top 12 running back easy if there was something to happen to Kyren Williams. The way that offense is rolling, the way that he's looked. I know he had a fumble last week, but so did Kyren Williams, and they went back to him, even though I was playing against him. I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh, my opponent's guy just fumbled. Obviously, this is going to be good for me. Nope. Gets 2 touchdowns after that. So they took it to me pretty good. I've had hemorrhoids that I enjoyed more than that experience. But yeah, Spears, even if something were, we saw Tony Pollard, who I think is a good running back. We saw him without Tajay Spears, and he wasn't able to do anything. Really, I know he scored last week, but overall, it's been a disappointing run game in Tennessee, and I just don't think Spears by himself would end up being that guy. And with Pollard out there, even less. Michael wants to know, full PPR, Chase Brown or Kendre Miller?
Don't. Just something quick like that.
Yeah. Don't.
Yeah. Don't. Stop it.
You stop it.
Kendre Miller, RB36 on the week, projected 8.7 full PPR points, while Chase Brown is the RB27 on the week, 11.9. Yep. Just give me the full-time role that Chase Brown has. Let's hope this Flacco thing ends up being decent for him. They're going to get the ball out to him quickly. If he has 6, there's a good chance that he has 6 catches in this game. So let's take the upside there. Vidal or Kamara full PPR flex. I'd monitor the Kamara thing, especially with the ankle injury, but I'm taking Kamara there pretty handedly. So flex Ruckus wants to know, flex time is it? Are we doing good here on time? Oh, we're doing great on time. Let's go, fellas. Flex 1, half PPR, Travis Etienne, Michael Carter, or Troy Franklin. Already playing Dobbins. Thanks. I will say I like Travis Etienne here, but it is, if you're looking to play Troy Franklin out there, if any of you guys do have Troy Franklin on your team, I do like the matchup for him this week. That secondary cornerback spot against the Jets has just been getting that's who Ryan Flournoy dominated last week. I mean, he was taking it to him, and I think Troy Franklin is a better player. Playing well too. The usage has still been there. So if you're looking for, if you're like, when's the Troy Franklin week coming after that week 2 showstopper, this is probably it. So if you need him, I think you can go ahead and play him with confidence. That being said, out of these guys, I like Travis Etienne. And just to give you guys the Travis Etienne ranking, which you can find if you subscribe to the Player Profiler All-In package, like me. We've got Travis Etienne. He is, come on, we got dude. I don't want Trevor Etienne. Is that a joke? RB 19 on the week, 14.9 projected points. So you guys saw what Rachaad White did to the Seahawks last week, right? So let's take Travis Etienne, copy, paste, boom, should be good to go. Rye Guy wants to know, pick 2, McMillan, Ladd, JK, Vidal, or Bill. I would love to know if you're playing half or full PPR here, but I'm going with JK and Bill. My gut instincts there. If I see you in the chat, I'll come back and answer that again. Shane O'Mac. Love me some Shane O'Mac. Shane O'Mac wants to know, looking to make trades, what players do you think I could acquire? Oh, man, it's going to be tough for me to do that right now, guys. Like I said, I'm not working with the fullest deck that you could be mentally after the Four Roses barrel strength hit me pretty good in the second half of the Auburn game last night. So I am still coming alive. Shane O'Mac wants to know Jalen Warren and Olave and tier up for an RB, trade for Worthy, DJ Moore, and tier up for a wide receiver. I'm probably not getting off Worthy. That's an asset I would like to have. If you can get rid of DJ Moore, I would definitely do that. And if you're just looking for somebody who's ranked similarly right now but has more upside, where are you? Get your ass in here. Where's more? I would try and trade up for like guys who are, can you get Devonta Smith? Can you get Jacoby Myers? Can you tier up for like an AJ Brown? Feel pretty good. Brian Thomas Jr., if today's just another like 5 for 50, but he doesn't have the touchdown, I would definitely try and do that. And then on the flip side, I'm just trying to look at guys who consensus is down on, but I'm a little higher on season long, right? So Warren is he's around that mid RB2 range. Could you get a Judkins? Could you get a Breece Hall? Could you get a Genty if this isn't a big week again? I'd try that. Yeah. So I would move on from those players. Sandsworthy. Bears, Browns, CST, Skins banked up. Yep, could not agree more. Bears defense is a potential high flying act this week. So yeah, and I think there's some Bears need some revenge. Well, I'm not, Doug. Yeah, why do I not have the I'm not Doug teed up this week? What the hell is wrong with me? Guys, I need new clips. I've got about 40 clips in here, but I've been focusing lately a little bit more about answering your questions more in depth and just playing the same old clips. If you have clips that you think would be good for this show, that fit the mold, fit the theme, fit the vibe, represent, I would love to see them. So send them to me on Twitter, and I will get you on, and I will get you credit. I assure you. How about one sleeper per position for FanDuel? And I've already hit like and subscribe. Vince, I appreciate that. I'm not going to do that this week, but next week, I'll tell you guys what. I will come into the show with one sleeper pick that I like at each position. I'll make that way we just have more flow, more consistency, all that fun stuff. So that is a nice little addition. Shout out chat. Chat's coming to go here. Jacoby Myers or Kendrick Bourne in full PPR. Are you on drugs?
Man. What kind of drugs do you take? It's nothing like that. What the hell is wrong with you?
We got Jacoby Myers as our wide receiver 23 on the week, 11.3 projected PPR points going up against the Titans, who have been vulnerable to that wide receiver 1 action. Marvin Harrison Jr. should have had like a 18-point game last week, but the refs kind of they effed him in the A. So, and that's one in particular. Geno Smith, he heard all the noise. Got to bounce back, right? You got to bounce back against Titans. You have to. Or I have to delete some tweets. So give me Jacoby Myers there. I just think that's a decent play overall. And Brock Bowers is going to be out, so you should be guiding there. Mr. Davis wants to know, start 2 in super flexes. So nobody knows what to do with this week's what the F do I do here is the Chargers running backs. So Vidal, Brissett, and Kamara. That's funny. I mean, yeah, Jacoby Brissett is in that. Do I play a skill position guy over him? I get it. Start to a super flex. In this one in particular, give me Brissett. I think Brissett is going to have a nice little game here. Not a fun game, not a great game, but I think Brissett could be in that 15, 17 point range. We have him projected at 12.7, but garbage time potential for him. So give me him even over Kamara and Vidal. Yep. You also have Franklin and Pierce. I will say, if you're looking for ceiling play here, it still will end up being Alvin Kamara, because if they get down big to the Patriots, he's going to be on the field catching passes. So if you depending on what your format is, full PPR, your ceiling play there is Kamara, but for the floor play, you can take Brissett. Here I am going against my own intuitions. Where are you? Where the hell was that last comment at? Yeah. All right, here we go. Dustin, Born to Be Alive. Hell yeah. I don't mind some Kendrick Bourne in lineups this week, guys. Dustin Brown wants to know, start 2 tight ends. Start 2 tight ends.
No, man. Shit, no, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that.
2 tight end leagues, guys. 2 tight end leagues. All right, start 2 here. I'm not playing Jonnu. I'm not playing any of the pass catchers in Pittsburgh other than DK Metcalf while this team is rocking, especially given the matchup against the Browns. So give me Kyle Pitts and give me Michael Mayer there. I feel pretty good about both of those. Weird flex question from Jonathan Santiago. He wants to know Michael Carter or Dyke. My league is broken with a return yard, so he's a solid 15 to 20 every week. Well, ride the wave. I feel pretty good about that. If you're getting 15 to 20 from return yards, ride the wave. I mean, I like Michael Carter this week. Don't get me wrong. But, Indy has been shutting shit down on the ground. So take the upside there. Let's get weird. Don't you want to – winning with Michael Carter doesn't feel nearly as good as winning with Chimere Dyke. So take the fun guy there. Jerome Jackson wants to know, screamed – Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Brashard Smith or Kendrick Bourne. I've been really surprised by Brashard Smith.
You do seriously surprise me. Thank you, Chef. I was hoping you'd see that. I mean, I'd give it all I got. Give you 110. You surprise me to how shit you are. Thank you.
I mean, how are you ceding playtime to Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt? I mean, I thought this was a guy I had stashed in so many leagues that he would have a nice little breakout game, and he's being used. Don't get me wrong, but it's not great, Bob. Let's see, and he's our RB 56 on the week, 4.1 projected PPR points. Now, does he get some action because they could be down 10, 14 for most of this game? I mean, it's possible, but I just don't feel good about them overall. Give me Bourne. Yeah, hold on. Where was that? I just saw this clip here. So Pardusky says, blaming the cursing on my sorry, mom. I'm a bad influence. My wife will wash. Yes, mom, it's the guys I hang out with. A little bit of it too is that I've got a young child who I have to stop cursing here pretty soon. And so maybe I'm trying to get a lot of them out now, just like empty the clip a little bit. That feels like the move. 100 times. Absolutely. What do we got here? Kendrick Bourne or Jacoby Myers as a flex and pool PPR. I'm going with Jacoby Myers there. I feel pretty good about that one as well. And I think we have those guys neck and neck in the rankings. We have Bourne at our wide receiver 28, and then we have Jacoby Myers at wide receiver 22. So, yeah, I mean, they're only a point separates them, and I'll take Jacoby there. I feel pretty good about the Geno bounce back game. Guys, hot chicks want you to know that Screen Variety TV is looking pretty juicy. So if you guys need juicy, hot TVs, that's the place to go. Where are we watching games this year, guys? Love to know, because Stream East used to be the jam, but they've gone the way of the Wizards. So Drew Porter. Drew, good to have you. Always good to see you. Wants to know, start Justin Fields versus Bryce Young, or start Justin Fields versus Dallas, or Bryce Young versus Justin Fields versus Denver, or Bryce Young versus Dallas. This is how I feel when I see Bryce Young in lineups. Whoa. You know what? That wasn't enough.
Look.
As you guys know, Bryce Young is the worst quarterback I've ever seen in my life. There's not a quarterback that I've ever seen that is not better than him. So let's go with Justin Fields there. Joe Carlton wants to know Andrews, Fannin, Pitts, not tight end premium. Pick one. Joe, you know I got you, bud, here. So let's just default to the rankings here. We have got Fannin at – where are you? Where's Fannin? Damn, we got Fannin low this week. Fannin at tight end 23. We've got Pitts at tight end 4. And then Andrews, I don't even know if Andrews is on the board here. He's gonna make me type it out. Andrews at tight end 23. So we have Kyle Pitts is almost like 16 spots higher than both of these guys. And I do like the matchup going up against the Buffalo defense, which is proved to be ass in a bag thanks to a few injuries. So let's go with Kyle Pitts there. It's Kyle Pitts season, baby. Doesn't that feel good? Golden or Moore? If we're talking DJ Moore, I'm going with the Golden. If we're talking Chris Moore, I'm also going with Matthew Golden there. Feel pretty good about that one. Brees or Bill? Oh my God. Why are you making me do this? Always wanted to do that. I'm going with Brees here. The workload is too good. The offensive ecosystem for the running backs there is too good. He's just getting work every which way you can. Especially with Braylon Allen out, he's getting the goal line work as well. So feel good about Brees there. Jay Moore wants to know flex 2, Chase Brown, Michael Carter, Hendy. Is Hendy the nickname? I thought it was Hendo, but I'll go with Hendy as well. I'm not a hater. Golden Ridley. Jeez, man. I pick one guy out of all these. Well, I'm not buying the Calvin Ridley action. I think that was a mirage. And Calvin Ridley only scored because I dropped him last week. You guys know that, right? And I don't have him on my roster, so I can't drop him again. Somebody bet $75 in one of my leagues for Calvin Ridley. That guy's losing his mind. Out of all these guys, though, let's take the upside play here, which is probably getting – oh, Jesus. You guys are making me sick. The ceiling play here is Golden. Obviously, he has the lowest floor there as well. The working man's play is Michael Quota. And then probably the right pick here is Chase Brown. So that's how I feel about that one. Porter, I got you, man. Full PPR, yes. Full PPR, you're looking for receptions there. Let's go with Chase Brown. I think he's going to get a little bit of everything there as well. So would you play Chase Brown over Henry in full PPR? I would. Slashy finally rolling out of bed. The sloth joins us, and he rolls out of bed with a gross one. Hollywood Brown or Fannin?
I give you money, you give me ideas.
And you never say thank you.
That's what the money is for.
That's what the money is for. That's what the fab is for. You dropped all that fab on Fannin after week 1. You've been holding on to him. Now it's time to play him, all right? Especially over Hollywood, who I don't mind Hollywood Brown, but he's just not it. He's the Bryce Young of wide receivers. I don't need it. Nobody in March was ever looking at last year and was like, man, I'm really glad I had Hollywood Brown on my team. It's never happened, not even one time. Simp wants to know full PPR, flex 2, Brian Thomas Jr., Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Juwan Jennings, or Tucker Kraft. It's a tricky one for Garrett Wilson this week. The Broncos have been pretty damn good about shading the wide receiver 1 on other teams, especially when the quarterback is kind of a limited passer. So I don't love Garrett Wilson this week in comparison to the other guys you have here too, right? So give me Brian Thomas Jr. and give me Breece Hall. I like the other guys as well. Don't get me wrong. You can't pick a bad bunch here, but I like the ceiling and floor for BTJ and Breece Hall. You Talk Sports wants to know, replacing Lamar in my Superflex league, would you start Rodgers or Flacco or Brissett? That is a tricky one here. Let's default to the Player Profiler weekly rankings. Aaron Rodgers, quarterback 24, Joe Flacco, quarterback 27, and Jacoby Brissett, quarterback 28. And I do agree with that. I know the Browns have been lights out, but I just like the way that the Steelers are playing, coming off of a bye. You know, they're not a high-flying act. They're death by 1,000 paper cuts. So I do think that Rodgers might end up being the play there. These guys are going to score within 3 or 4 points of each other anyways. So the only guy on this team the only quarterback here that I trust to be able to execute their offense in particular to the level that can take it to him would be Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, top 5 in MVP voting, by the way. So that's where we're at in life. 0.5 PPR. Where were you here? Yeah, so you're talking about the one from earlier. You're talking about yeah. So I stick to my answer there because I when I look at, unless you guys specify, I'm looking at half PPR as well. Carter or Hendy or Chase Brown in full PPR. This is a gross one.
You might ask something like this.
Is it still hot out there?
Or this.
Did you catch a game last night?
Or this.
Have you tried the lasagna? It's my favorite.
That's how I picture you guys when you ask me questions like this. And it's not a slight, don't get me wrong. That's just the way that my brain views people who would be in a predicament like this. Now, if we're defaulting to the rankings here, which has been my my ripcord, like I said, guys, Chase Brown, RB27 on the week. I like his pass catching prowess this week, in particular, going up against the Packers. I think they'll be playing from behind, and I know that's pretty chalky, but it is the case. I think he's the ceiling play. Carter's going to get the work, and then Henderson. I just want to see it a little bit more. I just want to see it. I'm a visual learner. Thoughts on trading Neighbors for Brian Thomas Jr. and Rashee Rice in Dynasty? If you're in win now, I don't mind that. I mean, Neighbors is probably still going to end up being a top 5 Dynasty asset in the wide receiver room going forward. Brian Thomas Jr.'s value is taking a hit. And I really like Rashee Rice. So if you're in win now, I don't mind that. But if you're rebuilding, you're not that competitive, I just hold off and keep Neighbors there. Dynasty, yeah, there we go. Jesus Christ. Maybe if I read one more, I would be able to see. Competing, but not a top team. I would hold. I don't think that's a good enough haul for Neighbors. I still view Neighbors in that Dynasty-wise. I view him in that, Jefferson, Chase, Puka, Emeka Ibuka, Cooper Kupp tier. RV wants to know Dobbs or Coleman. Thank you. Boy, there's just not anybody I enjoy playing less than Keon Coleman. So give me the only, you know what? But if you had asked me 10 days ago, I might have said Dobbs. But give me Dobbs there. He's the guy, unfortunately. For better or for worse, Dobbs is the guy. Michael wants to know Higgins, DJ Moore, Flowers, or Chubb on a five. Okay. I was trying to see if I understood that correctly. Like, do you just, because there's a scenario there where your team is so damn good that you play Chubb on a bye and win, and then you just absolutely dust the guy that you're playing with. You'd be the Mr. Perfect in that. So that'd be the innocent man play of the week.
We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
Now, to get to the meat of the question here, the innocent men play of the week here. Zay Flowers, was hoping for a little bit more out of Zay, but for the most part, the switch to Cooper Rush has been pretty brutal for that offense in a whole. I know he had some nice little garbage time work this week, but it was kind of a blown coverage thing more than it was him just doing juice on that one big play. And he's really settled down after that hot start. So all these guys in particular, you're just looking for a ceiling play, and that's going to end up being T. Higgins. And I know that Higgins has not been there for us, but he did score last week. Chase is going to draw the majority of the coverage. I'm not recommending too much T. Higgins in lineups this week, but in this one in particular, you're just looking for 13 points, which I think is very reasonable, very much within the range of outcomes. Young Sensei wants to know, great name, Young Sensei. You guys have some great names, by the way, in this chat. I just want to shout that out as well. Full PPR, start Mason Taylor or Trevion Henderson.
The fucking man.
Holy shit, I'm gonna come.
That is just such a sicko play. I love it. We've got Mason Taylor traveling to the Great Britain, 9.4 projected full PPR points. So if you're looking for floor, Taylor's your play there. If you're looking for Henderson, not 11.4 projected full PPR points. Why do I keep saying full PPR points? You guys have been listening to the stream long enough. Obviously, that's what I'm going with here. So ceiling Henderson, floor Taylor. I'm a ceiling guy, so I wouldn't mind throwing Hendo in a lineup and just banking on some sobriety finally coming to. It's been a lot of late nights at the Encore Casino for Mike Vrabel. Hopefully, he's sobered his ass up. Dynasty Avengers wants to know Dobbins or Henry in full PPR. Gee whiz, Derrick Henry. What the hell happened to our king here? He's become garbage.
No matter what you do for the rest of your life, you'll always be garbage.
J.K. Dobbins, 13.1 projected points on the week. Derrick Henry, not too much better. He is 12.3. So Dobbins, RB23, Henry, RB25. And look, like Dobbins is playing well enough that if Henry has a good game. You're not going to be like, what the hell was I thinking? Like, this is fine. If you're thinking about playing Henry over like Vidal or Tony Pollard or Pacheco, not Pacheco. The hell does that say? Oh, yeah, Trevion Henderson. That I wouldn't do, but Dobbins is playing well enough and he's integral enough to the offense that I think this is a fine play, especially in full PPR. He's catching a few balls there. Scarpion FF. What does FF stand for? Anybody with a picture of Goodell in their house has to be effed up. Dude, Roger Goodell is the greatest commissioner in pro sports history. I will have none of that. Imagine Roger Goodell in charge of the WNBA, how successful they would be. All Pro All Day wants to know, Ayo, Haskins, or Kamara pick 2. Give me Haskins and Kamara there. I'm not sure what the format league setting is here, but I like Haskins for a potential goal line score and Kamara just because he's the man. Thornton or Coleman. Give me Thornton. I've kind of loved how even with Xavier Worthy coming back, how much playtime Thornton has gotten. Let's see here. Where are you on the week here? He is our. I'll go to the next one. Where is he in the player profiler rankings? He's pretty low. He's only projected 4.3 points, but this is going to be a shootout. 50.2, 52.5 projected points over under in this game. So Vegas thinks it's going to be a shootout. I do as well, because both teams are dealing with injuries to the secondary. And this is really the last week before Rashid Rice comes back, which I might actually end up being the nail in the coffin for him. So I like him as a dart throw this week. I just don't enjoy the football stylings of Keon Coleman. He is projected 10.6 points, but that's a mirage in my mind. So let's go with Thornton there and let's have some fun with it. Starting Ramondre, Trevion, or Jameson in my flex half PPR. It's been a tough go for good old Jameson Williams. He's got one game over wide receiver 55. Let's see here. Where is he? He is our wide receiver 42 on the week with only 10.6. But you know what? They're going to need him this week, guys. If you want to throw Jameson Williams in your lineups, you can blame it on me. I'll tell you what. If Jameson Williams doesn't have at least his second highest point total on the year, I will buy you a beer. You can mark that down. Trash out of here. You can't trick me with picture of chick and then come in here with like screen variety TV. I mean, legitimately, I hope you buy a heavy coat and walk right into the ocean. David wants to know, Superflex Dynasty, Waddle or a late 2026 first? It's over for Tyreek Hill. His career is done. It's Jalen Waddle time in Miami. Give me Jalen Waddle. I don't think you're going to find anybody in this draft coming up that's going to match his next 2 to 3 years. South CC wants to know, Fields or Caleb? That's a fun one. I think we did this one earlier, and I went with – no, actually, I'm not sure if we did that. I like the matchup for Caleb. Don't get me wrong. We got Justin Fields is pretty low. He's quarterback 11 on the week. So if you need floor, Caleb. If you need Fields, if you need ceiling, Fields. That's my scapegoat there. Start Golden or Haskins in full PPR. We're going a decent matchup for Chart to get some goal line work here. So the floor will be Chart. The ceiling will be Golden. We'll have Haskins somewhere in between. Can I screen grab this? Seems legit, eh? Does it, Alexa? Does it seem legit?
Everybody, let's get out of here. This place is covered head to toe in shit.
That's how I feel when I see comments like that. Jay Grime. Oh, we already got you covered there. Oh, somebody with a name here wants to know, full PPR tight end premium, Henderson, Troy Franklin, Harold Fannin, or the Glock on my dresser. Here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to pick the Glock up, empty it, make sure there's no bullet in the clip, and then pull the trigger, and then have that flash before your eyes, and then throw Harold Fannin into your lineup, baby. You're going to feel good. You're going to feel things that it's going to be like Fight Club when he's going to have the best day he's ever had. Cooper Rush Dynasty wants to know, Cooper Rush or Brissett? It's rough out there. Give me Brissett. Cooper Rush, not very bad, not good. Michael wants to know, damn, that's what I thought. Higgins is in my lineup. I was just hoping I was crazy. You're not crazy. You guys have been very, I can see the thought process with every single one of these start sits today. So I'm right there with you guys. We've got 1,000 people have tuned in to this broadcast. I want you guys to know that I appreciate it. I've had a very, very, very good time doing this with you. I'll try and get through a few more here, and then we'll get out on our merry way. I'm going to speed through these, guys. So if you have any more start sits, questions, concerns, criticisms, you got recommendations for cool new restaurants that are opening in your neighborhood, I'm going to be posting a thread after this on X. Come find me there, Chuck F. Bass. We'll all do this dance together as we get ready for our very fun London game. Half PPR, need one. King Henry, ETN, Juwan Jennings, or Keenan Allen. Give me Travis Etienne there. Golden Goose wants to know, are we benching Garrett Wilson against him? It depends on your options. I'd be hard-pressed to bench him. I just don't feel good about his range of outcomes this week. He's still the wide receiver 14 at Player Profiler, 15.6 projected full PPR points. Better stash here, Loveland likely or Gadsden. You only have Warren. Give me Loveland. I think Loveland will start to be used more as the Bears realize that Cole Kmet is basically a money laundering scheme. He's nothing more. And coming off the bye as well. Shout out Colston Loveland's mother, who followed me on X a couple weeks ago. Love her. G-Baby wants to know, rank these flex options. Chase, Allen, Sutton, Adams, Waddle, Wilson, Diggs. God, let's try and keep it limited to a few players here, guys. Give me Chase, give me Adams, give me Wilson, and then give me Diggs there. Okay, where were we? Daniels or Young at quarterback. Give me Daniels. Love that. Just wait for the full-size Pelosi lines next up. Oh, yeah, you guys tune in on Wednesday. You'll see the full-size Pelosi. Slashy wants to know Penix or Mac Jones. Give me Mac Jones. Dobbs. Phil Braz wants to know Dobbs or Shaheed. Give me Shaheed. I love the way Shaheed is looking. He's a good-looking guy. I mean, top to bottom. You can look at the calves, look at the knees, look at the hips, look at the lats, and then all the way up. He's got nice forehead as well. All pro all day wants to know Kamara or White. Last one I got. Give me White. The big thing with White is if he's able to do that last week against the Seattle front in Seattle, I trust him to be able to do it against anybody. There's injuries to the 49ers defensive line as well, and he is our RB14 on the week. John wants to know Tongas, who is a top 12 tight end somehow, or wait and gamble on Kincaid Knox. Give me Kincaid in that one. Feel pretty decent. Daniel Caps wants to know start Nix or Daniel Jones. Give me Daniel Jones. And then Sutton or Jennings, PPR, same team. Give me Sutton in that one. Hell yeah. Haskins wants to Haskins. Okay, need one. Garrett Wilson, Flournoy, or Thornton. Let's go with Garrett Wilson there. He still has the high floor. Hit that like, y'all. We would love that. If you could like and subscribe, we'll have plenty more content for you guys this year. It's been a lot of fun. Continue to do this every Sunday morning. And our last one of the day, unless anyone has any at the buzzer, will be Daniel Jones or Justin Fields. Let's go with Daniel Jones here, and that will do it. You guys can come find me on X. We'll have plenty more of those. It is Sunday morning. Let's get out here on our very merry way with a nice little clipola. Love you guys.
Oh, I love fantasy football, and I love being a future champion.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that...
You betrayed me. Did you tell the folks that? You bitch. Did you tell them? You fat piece of shit.